beauty restoration.
So we bought the building, remodeled it. Looks nothing like it used to.
The ugliest Christmas sweater I've ever seen.
Me too.
One of my favorite people in the poinsettia and flower business, Chad Underwood with Syngenta.
Thank you, Chris. That's generous of you to say.
Well, I haven't even known you that long, but Christina will say the same thing. Like, we love working with Syngenta. You guys you're knowledgeable, you're easy to work with, you got a great product. Lots to be, I think, said about Syngenta and what you guys really produce.
Oh, thank you. It means a lot. I think we met first in Grand Rapids, Michigan last July at Mass Young Plants for their garden event, their trials event.
And I think, were you at Raker too the day before?
I was not, but our team was there.
Okay.
We probably did some video there.
Yep, Christina was right. I thought for sure I saw you there, but I think it was your, who's the doctor that did some work with us at Raker?
Might have been Jamie Gibson.
Jamie Gibson.
Yep.
I knew it was
Gibson.
Yeah.
One of our finest tech leads, absolutely.
Good stuff. So Chad is here with us at Plantpeddler at our annual Poinsettia Variety Day. Tell us a little bit about Syngenta to start off, and then we kind of dive into what's going on here in Cresco.
Yeah, sure. So Syngenta is a large global company. Flowers division is a small portion of that big global company, but we still have a global footprint in flowers. One of the leading breeders globally. Offices are in Enkhuizen, the Netherlands. And for the U.S., we're based in Gilroy, California. I'm head of sales for North America, so our team focuses on the U.S. and Canada.
So you're traveling all over the
traveling all over the country and Canada.
What does the family think about that?
Well, it's tough, when you're away from home a lot.
Yeah, because you're basically living out of a suitcase a lot of the year, huh?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, this year's been an especially busy travel year because last year none of us were out. It was COVID. Everyone was hunkered in, and the minute that we were able to get travel authorized and get out and visit customers, we did. And it's an important part of our business to have that connection with our customer and be close with our customers. I wanted to personally and make sure our team also got out and reconnected face to face. Zoom is a neat technology and it's great. It's got its place.
There's nothing better than this, though.
Nothing beats the face-to-face interaction.
Especially it's for sales.
And for sales, it's all about the relationship and making sure you understand your customer needs. So we did that. So yeah, the travel can be brutal. There are a lot of folks on our team that travel way more than I do. And hats off to them. Dr. Gibson's one of them. He's constantly out at our greenhouse growers, troubleshooting, providing the support that we're known for. So we're one of the best in the industry, if not the best in terms of technical support for our customers.
So Syngenta Flowers, well known within the business, along with, there's so many other breeders that are here that we could talk about, but you know what? We're going to leave them out. We're going to stick with Syngenta. How's the relationship with Plantpeddler, and how did that all start? When did you first, since a lot of the people that are going to be watching this initially on Facebook and YouTube and whatnot, they're local, so they're going to be from Cresco and North Iowa and Southern Minnesota. Hopefully this will branch out as it's shared. But how do you, what's your relationship with Mike? How long has Syngenta been working with Plantpeddler?
Yeah, so we have a great relationship with Mike Gooder here, the owner of Plantpeddler, and he obviously runs an incredible business and does a dynamite job, not just with these trial events, but just with his wholesale business in general. So Mike is, for us, a young plant producer. We call them root and cells, which basically mean they root our young cuttings or our seeds, and then they sell them. Kind of self-explanatory, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, but it's nice to hear some of that stuff.
But an incredibly important partner and an incredibly important piece of how the whole thing works. Some growers do start their own young plants, but many opt to use an expert like Plantpeddler to do that stage of the growing process for them, and then they simply finish it. So Mike, of course, has a finished side of his business as well. And we appreciate every order that comes through, whether it's for young plants or for finished, obviously. But our relationship is really took off a few years ago when we brought them in as a Syngenta root and cell. Mike has also been a great partner for us in developing new begonias. Mike kind of has a reputation of being a begonia expert.
If you got him to sit down with some scotch or a drink or something, he could talk the whole day and the whole night about begonias.
He can. We've been joking a little bit today at the trial. Of course, you asked me what my favorite poinsettias are. And my favorite one are the ones that people want to buy. They really are. We've got some great genetics. I pointed out the Karina Hot Pink and obviously Mirage Red, our kind of superstar variety right now, and they're great. I love them all, but really it's what people want. And our job as a breeder is to develop cutting edge genetics, make sure what we're producing is the highest quality, and set people like Mike Gooder and Plantpeddler up for success. So their customers are happy, the consumer is happy, the landscapers that they sell to are happy, and it all kind of goes around. It was interesting, COVID pandemic, for me, solidified that we are an essential industry.
Absolutely. And well, considering sales, what I heard, sales went up actually during pandemic. So I'm thinking from the flower industry, people need that. People need to be happy. They want to be able to plant these. They want to be able to come home and see these, or whatever it is, however the consumers are going to use it. So I agree with you.
Yes. Yeah. So we never want to get overconfident that demand will be there. But this past 2 years now have been record-breaking years for us at Syngenta, and we were well positioned to take advantage of it in terms of like building up our operations, operational excellence, and our supply chain, and again the connection with our customers. But it's really been remarkable to see so many gardeners just join in on the fun of getting into the gardening business. And it's not a gardening hobby, I guess you might want to say, and it's not just flowers, it's vegetable gardening too. A lot of folks started doing that in 2020 when they were literally
at home,
shut down, stuck at home.
Oh, it's time to plant some carrots and some celery. Because in March of 2020, Christina's laughing, of course, but we had no idea where we were going to go with COVID.
Right, it was scary.
It was a scary time. So people were probably just like, start buying, we're getting these checks.
Yes.
Start buying.
Yes. I give my hats off to the retailers, both large and small. They really got creative and innovative, figuring out how to do curbside delivery. And, because our business is so visual and tactile. I mean, typically the consumer is out. It's very much an impulse purchase, and it's something that you experience when you go out to the garden center. And when you're stuck at home because of a natural or a non-natural disaster, pandemic. It's like, okay, I remember what those plants looked like. I'm going to call up my favorite garden center and see if I can order them. And people did. And the retailers really, I think, stepped up and largely, saved us because they made it easy for people to still purchase our products despite the fact that we were in a pandemic. Showed the world that, like I said, we're an essential industry. And here we are today.
So let me ask you this from, I think about this from a consumer now because I've been been around the industry now for almost a year and a half. Yeah. How are you trying to figure out what the consumers want next?
So it's tricky. Consumers are pretty finicky and
even breeders, like what are they looking for? So, I mean, that's kind of
tastes and trends can change quickly. And breeding can take a long time. And we have some genetics that in some cases have taken a decade to fully develop and bring to market, some longer. There's a good chance that where the market was that many years ago is not going to be where it is today.
So maybe keep it and maybe 10 years it might be back.
But one thing that doesn't ever seem to change is flower power, the impact of that beautiful flower, unique colors and patterns in the products, and just good quality material. You go to your local garden center, you see a nice healthy plant, it's priced right, it's attractive. There's a good chance you're going to pick that up and take it home, put it on your deck or your patio or whatever. I've long said that everybody in this country that owns a house or an apartment or whatever dwelling you're in deserves to at least have a hanging basket, on that front patio. And that's kind of our mission at Syngenta, to beautify the world a bit.
That's a perfect way to say things too. Since we're looking at all these beautiful flowers behind us, we're at the Variety Day in Plantpeddler. Why is it important to have some of these variety days at different greenhouses? And why do you guys travel to all these? Probably, I know some of the reasoning. Of course, you want to see how these are doing in different climates.
Yeah. So, the typical consumer has no idea how complicated our business can be. And you look at—
I was the first one to say that, absolutely.
You look at a facility like we're at today at Plantpeddler, and you see the sea of red poinsettias, and it's easy to think they're all the same. But they're not, I can assure you. There are, in some cases, small but very important differences. We breed for a lot of attributes, whether it's disease resistance, drought resistance, a product that flowers quicker or finishes quicker so that a grower can turn that product, get it on the retail shelves, in a more efficient manner. It all makes a difference to a grower. As you pointed out, there's regional differences, there's climatic differences. So we're constantly breeding for all of that. And we sell to a professional commercial grower base, and they have extremely high expectations, and they know Syngenta is the best in the business, and they expect us to lead that charge. So.
What's your favorite part of coming to Plantpeddler? If it's twice a year, you usually come twice a year, don't you?
I do. I was here this summer. We chatted about earlier for the summer event in August, and now back this week in December for poinsettias.
Yeah, so what's your favorite?
My favorite part is actually the interaction with the people. It really is. I mean, we all run important businesses. Sometimes there are intense discussions, and there's things that are out of your control. But at the end of the day, we're a pretty small industry still. You saw it today. You saw me interacting with competing breeding companies.
And you guys all know each other. And even, I said this yesterday at dinner at Atomic in Cresco, in downtown Cresco. Everyone is like a family here.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if there's competition here, strong conflicts at times, complex situations, but you guys at the end of the day you guys get along, there's a friendship, there's a respect.
Yeah. We have a pretty complicated industry. When I first started in it, I thought, we're probably not any different than any other industry. I didn't know anything. Still don't, some might argue. But you're right. Like this business, your customer can be your competitor, can be your supplier. And that does make for some interesting, situations sometimes. And we've got to kind of navigate our way through that and make sure that everyone is doing the best they can to just put great looking product on those retail shelves.
So final question for you. What's coming up for Syngenta in 2022? You're going to be all over. Your big one is obviously CAST that's coming in California in March 29th, I believe it starts. Is that the week?
Week 13. CAST, California Spring Trials, what CAST stands for. That's kind of our big showcase event as an industry. Folks come out from all over the country and North America and the world, really, and tour up and down the coast of California.
Can't beat that.
You come see us in Gilroy.
So Gilroy, we'll host you. Is it's just south of the Bay City, right?
Yeah.
Like
it's
San Jose,
south of the Bay Area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long if you're flying into San Francisco, how long of a drive is it to get to Gilroy? It's about an hour south?
It's about an hour.
No traffic?
With no traffic.
Which doesn't exist.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's taken me, I know it's taken me an hour and a half before, if not 2 hours in traffic.
When you ask us to come out there,
To come out there? Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out.
Fly into San Jose. I always fly into San Jose. It's a quick 30 minutes, if that.
That's not too bad. Okay.
There's great restaurants in Morgan Hill. Now it's like I'm working for the tourism board of Morgan Hill or something, but
it's really not that hard. I mean, California.
It's a beautiful area of the country. It really is. And springtime out there is a lovely time. Product looks amazing, of course. We put on a big show, as do the other breeders. And it's a big event everyone looks forward to. So we've got that. We're always back together again in Columbus around the first week or two in July at Cultivate.
We're probably going to have to go to the Cultivate next year. We almost did. And then it kind of fell through last second, I think.
I was actually told that we have to go.
That's a good thing.
Have to go.
Is it from Mike or Plantpeddler, or is it from Syngenta?
It was the combination of people.
Well, Mike, Mike is, so. He'll be like, yeah, go, but not on my dime.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have Cultivate, which is a big one in Columbus.
Absolutely. And another event where, we connect as an industry, right? It's a chance, again, to see your customers, see your suppliers, see your partners face to face. We talked at the beginning of the podcast about all the travel that we all get and do. And it's another week or a few days away from home, but we're kind of with our second family, with our work colleagues. And at least at Syngenta, I feel like we do connect in that way. We're a pretty tight-knit group, relatively small group here in North America. Everybody pulls their own weight and sticks together, looks out for each other.
Good. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts are this was a great event. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't thank Mike Gooder for hosting it, and Rachel as well. They just do a dynamite job here. I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, it definitely feels like home when you're coming here. They take care of you the night before the event. You know, if it's at Mike's house or
Mike will
or
bring it to
Gooder's.
the house. You have some scotches you mentioned.
Yep.
And we're off to the races.
Or we tried some weird smoked turkey that was well.
Really good.
Mike's taking this cold turkey leg and panning it out. He's like, "Gotta try it." I'm like, "All right." And we tried. And did you have some?
I had some too.
Oh, it was delicious.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, yeah, you can cook for me anytime.
Yeah.
All right, Chad. Thanks for
Chris.
being on here.
Hey, appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you.
you again soon.
Yep.